The first thing that you want to learn about your drone is how you actually fly it in the air. So on the controller, you have two joysticks, and these two joysticks do different things depending on the configuration that you have set up. So I'm going to be talking about the standard configuration, and this is what comes on most drones out of the box. Now, if you don't like this configuration, you can set it up to what makes more sense for you. However, let's go over the basic configuration of how drones fly. So when you look down at your controller, you're going to have two joysticks, one on the left, one on the right. So on your left joystick, when you push up, that's going to cause the drone to ascend into the sky. Now, if you pull down, that's going to cause your drone to descend. So raising up and lowering down. Now on that joystick, if you push left with the joystick, then it's going to rotate the drone left. And think of the drone just sitting in one spot and pivoting on an axis. So when you pull it left, it pivots left. Now if you pull that same joystick right, it pivots right. And an easy way to think about it is the left joystick keeps you on one spot on the earth. It doesn't move you in any direction, it just goes up, down, and rotates around. Now the left joystick, you can think of that as moving away from that single point. So when you move forward on the right joystick, that's going to cause your drone to push forward. Now, if you pull down on the right joystick, that's going to cause your drone to go backwards. If you pull left on that right joystick, that's going to cause the drone to move towards the left. So instead of pivoting, it's actually going to be just facing one direction and moving. So think of the drone just looking straight at you and moving one direction. So if you pull right on that joystick, it goes right. So the drone is basically doing this in the air and keeping the camera facing forward. So you're going to use a combination of both of these joysticks to be able to move your drone in space, and also use a combination of both of them to be able to create better looking footage. Now also on the controller, you're typically going to have a way to control your gimbal. On DJI drones, it's going to be right here in the upper left-hand corner, and you could basically just pull it down and up. And depending on which drone that you have, you can go from straight out ahead to straight down, and some drones even let you go up a little bit further than 90 degrees. Most new drones are coming out with this feature that let you go a little bit higher so that you can get lower on the ground and actually point up a little bit. Now, I have worked with some other drones in the past that allow you to do a 360 camera view, and those controllers will have additional abilities to rotate the gimbal in that 360 degrees. However, the majority of drones that I work with, and probably you're going to work with as well, just have the gimbal that goes up and down. And so typically these are a jog wheel on the top of the controller that allows you to pull it down or pull it up. So it's a two-direction jog wheel, and depending on how much pressure you apply to this wheel, it's going to make it move fast or slow, and these are settings that you can change in your software. Now, depending on which drone you're flying with and what style of controller that you have, there's a few other things that you might encounter. Now on DJI's controllers, you'll have a speed in the middle, and this changes it from super slow to a normal speed to super fast. Now you'll also have a return to home button. And what this button will do is bring the drone home. So if you need to return to home, it's an easy way to push this button and the drone's gonna go back to your initial GPS point that you took off from. Now, most situations you could just use this button, return to home, but there are some situations where if you're moving, you're not gonna wanna use this button, and then you'll have to fly home manually. Typically with the return to home, you set which height that you want your drone to get up to before it returns to home. So if you're in a place with lots of trees, you'll want to make sure that the drone flies higher than those trees before it returns to home. Now, if you're in a situation where there's not a lot of tall things around you, you might not need the return to home to be super high. So that's something you're going to have to go in your app and change, but you want to make sure you do that before every flight. And the last thing that you'll typically find on your controller to control how you fly is a function button. And on DJI's controllers, you can change this button to two different things. And one function I like to have set up when I'm flying is automatically adjust the gimbal. So when I click this button, it automatically snaps the gimbal up to 90 or straight down. It's an easy way to move the gimbal so that it's looking straight out. So in case I need to see what I'm doing when I'm flying, or I want to shoot straight down, I can do it with a flip of a button and not have to wait for my gimbal. Because typically I'll set my gimbal to super slow so I can actually use the gimbal when I'm flying to get cinematic looking footage. Now, one of the things that I always suggest doing is take your drone out to a big open field, somewhere where there's no chance of you hitting anything. Now, take the drone up and just fly around using the joysticks. Really learn how these joysticks work and how your drone moves in space. Because if you're in a situation where you're flying close to an object or something happens and you have to move the drone fast to get out of a situation, you want to make sure that you fully understand how you actually move the drone in space so that you don't accidentally fly the drone into the building or fly the drone into a tree. When I was first flying drones way back on like the Phantom 2, that was one of the things that I didn't do, and I took it off and I hit a palm tree almost immediately. That was because I wasn't flying in a big open field. So when it comes to flying a drone, practice is key. And what you want to do is learn your controller inside and out and learn how you can fly and move in space. And when you're looking at the drone up in the sky and you're looking at the screen, objects sometimes seem closer and objects sometimes seem further away from the drone, and you want to make sure that you have a good understanding of where the drone is in space so that you don't hit something and crash your drone. And next, I highly suggest you check out this video right here. It goes through all of the different drone moves that I like to use when I'm out flying. So I'll see you on the next video.